Hello friends, welcome to Children's Liturgy of the Word. Here we are, can you see our calendar? We are at the 7th Sunday in the season of Easter. Right here. Can you tell that something very special is going to happen next week? Ooh, we say that's the hot Sunday. That's Pentecost. We'll be talking about that in a little bit. There's only one red Sunday in the whole year. I bet something very special happens that day. I'm just going to set our calendar to the side. It seems like it's been a long time since we've been together at St. Michael's to have our church and our Children's Liturgy of the Word. When we gather, we usually sign in a little book and we know who is all around the table. We introduce ourselves if we're new. So I don't know who's watching today, but I'm glad you're here and I'm glad to be here with you. This is the bulletin for this week. And remember, just black and white in the beginning, and then you get to use your imagination and your favorite colors and color it any way you'd like. The words say, sing to God, sing praises. That sounds like a happy song, doesn't it? To sing praises. Inside, oh, there's more to color. I didn't get that far. I did the word search. That was fun. Lots of words that go with the story we have this week. And the story we have this week is the story of when Jesus was getting ready to go back to heaven to be with God. Here's the way it came out of the computer, and here's the way I colored it. The words on the picture say, "You will be my witnesses." Let's find out what Jesus meant when he said that. When Jesus died on the cross, his friends were very sad. And then Easter morning happened, and they were so happy and excited and a little bit confused because they knew Jesus really wasn't dead, that he was alive in a new way with them. And then for the next 40 days, his friends, his disciples, kept having encounters or experiences where they felt close to Jesus or Jesus was with them in a new way. And he was teaching them about what it was like to live and be in a community. And Jesus told them, I want you to know that even if I have to be gone, if I have to leave you and you won't see me in the same way, I want you to know that you are going to receive the Holy Spirit and you will be a witness to God's love and compassion in the world. So, what is it to be a witness to God's love? That's a good question, isn't it? Sometimes you might hear that word witness like you're the person who saw something important happen. Well, Jesus' friends did see some very important things happen. But it's more than just seeing. It's about being God's love in the world and helping to carry on Jesus' work, his ministry in the world. That's what it is to be a witness to God's love. And that's what Jesus asked all of us to be. Be a witness to God's love when I'm in heaven with God and the Holy Spirit. Look back at that calendar on that day that's red when the Holy Spirit is going to come and be with you and give you the joy and the strength and the courage to go out in the world and be God's love in the world. So I want to talk about a couple of things that I think are important about being God's love in the world. And I'm I'm going to refer to our book, The Virtues Guide, and you can read more about the virtues online if you look up the Virtues Project with your parents. So two virtues I was thinking about that are important for us right now in the world. Right now when things are hard for us, when maybe we know people who've lost a job, we know people who are sick, we might know people who are lonely. You might be someone who is lonely because you miss your friends and your family. Or you might be someone who's concerned about the hardship you see other people experiencing. So something I was thinking that might help us to be God's love in the world is to think about two of the virtues, two of the things that Jesus talked about. He said, remember, love God and love your neighbor as yourself. One of the ways that we love our neighbor is through kindness, the virtue of kindness. What is kindness? Kindness is being concerned about the welfare of others. Kindness is showing you care about anyone or anything that crosses your path, knowing that everything is a part of God's creation. Kindness means to care for others and the earth as much or more than you care about yourself. And if you looked up the virtues on the computer online, you can print off a page that talks about each virtue. And the virtue of kindness, they give you a couple of ideas here. The practice of kindness. I give tender attention to others. I do things that give others happiness. I help the earth by reducing, reusing, and recycling. I resist the temptation to be cruel. I accept people who are different. Those are just a few ways that you can practice being kind. The other virtue I was thinking is so important for us right now in the world is the virtue of creativity. Creativity. You are a new creation of God. No one has ever been born who is just like you, with your special combination of gifts and talents. God gave you these gifts. Creativity is a way to use them to bring new things into the world. Creativity is a way to use the spark of God within you. And then it also says the best use of creativity is when you produce something that will benefit others. Creativity is sharing your special gifts with the world. Let's look at some ways that we can practice creativity. I discover the gifts I have. I use knowledge and training to develop my gifts. I think of new ways to make things work better. I use my imagination. I take time for inspiration. We have a lot of people in the world working really hard to be kind and to care for other people, especially anyone who's sick or in the hospital. And also people using all of their imagination and their creativity and their knowledge to solve problems, to help people, to invent new things that will help us all get better during this time of the pandemic, when that really bad virus, or the sick bug, as my little grandson says, until that sick bug goes away, we need to find all of our creativity, all of our kindness, all of our knowledge, put all those things together so that we can help other people. And that's one way we can be a witness to God's love in the world. A friend of mine from St. Michael's posted something on Facebook, and I made a copy of it. There is a book. It's a whole book, and you can print it on the computer, or you can just click on it and read about it on the computer. And this book is a story of a little boy who wakes up one morning and he thinks it's a normal morning, and then he realizes his parents are home, they're not going to work, and that they're all going to be home because of the coronavirus. And they tell him about the virus, and they tell him things that they can do. And I want to show you a couple of the pages that I thought were so important. One thing about this book that's very special, I didn't tell you this first, is the people who wrote this book are two doctors. And the doctors' names are Dr. Ebony Jade Hilton and Dr. Leigh-Ann Webb. And the illustrator is Ashleigh Corrin Webb. So these are doctors who really care about people and want to help people. And they thought, maybe we can write a book that will help kids understand this big, complicated problem of the coronavirus. So let's look at a couple of things that they suggest. And here's one about how we can all stay safe. Wash your hands with soap and water for 20 seconds to remove all the germs. Cover your nose and mouth with a washable face mask or scarf. Stand at least 6 feet away from other people when you're out in public. Leave your shoes at the door. Don't touch your hair or your face, even with gloves on. That's a hard one, isn't it? Help keep your home clean. So those are some ideas about staying safe. Here's some ideas about staying healthy. Eat healthy snacks. Exercise every day. You can run, skip, jump rope, bounce, or ride your bike, or dance. I just said that one. That's my favorite way to exercise. Get plenty of rest. Take walks outside. And this might be something for us all to practice, big people and little people, is to practice positive self-talk. If you ever have a day where you're feeling kind of down, maybe talk to someone you love, or write in a journal, or make a picture, make some kind of art, and try to think about things that make you happy. And if you got sick, or anybody who gets sick, it's not their fault that they got sick. This bug is very strong. It's just waiting to get people sick. So we just do our very best to stay healthy and hope that the bug is going to go away, and hope we can get that medicine made for it. So here are some other things. Save extra water and food, just in case you might want to help somebody in your neighborhood. Maybe take somebody a dinner. Find a way to celebrate birthdays. If you can't get together and have a birthday party, maybe you can find a creative way to have a birthday party with a friend, even if you can't get together. Or maybe you can have a parade outside their house and wave to them. Send a card or an email. This says, find creative ways to use your time and talents to help brighten someone's day. So here's a picture of those doctors and scientists, all the people who are working hard to take care of us, and people working hard to find a good cure for a very bad sick bug. You notice they all have their mask on, they're protective. There are some gloves. People do their very best to make good choices. And so many of us are doing this. We're spending a lot more time in our houses, aren't we? So that we don't spread the virus. And so that we can stay well and our families can stay well. Another idea at the end of this book are some pages that you can write on. And if you were to print this out, you could write on it. It says, "Today I feel." So you might make a picture of your face. How are you feeling today? Are you feeling happy or sleepy or sad, excited? And then you might write some words. Here are some ideas of faces. It doesn't have to be fancy for you to get the idea about how you might feel. I really like this page a lot. It says, "Create an I get to list." Because sometimes we might be focusing on the things we can't do. But I bet there are a lot of things we can do. Here's the first one they wrote. "Wear my Halloween costume all day." So if you're at home and you're doing school in a different way, maybe you can wear your Halloween costume all day, because it's okay to do that at your house while you're doing your lessons. So I might write in, what do I get to do? I get to make a video for my St. Michael's friends. And that's a special thing that I never did before all of the coronavirus things happened. I wouldn't choose to have the coronavirus happen, but it's kind of nice that maybe some new things that are good things are going to come out of it. We might all learn some new things. And the very last page of this book has some resources that moms and dads and grandparents might want to look at too. So that's a nice book that you can read right on your laptop or your computer. And if you have a printer, you can print it out. I'm going to keep this copy for us so that we can have it at the church and we can look at it again. So I was thinking about the hopes that Jesus had for all of us and for the world. Even when he knew he wasn't going to be with us in the same way. Do you remember what he said when he first saw his disciples and they were in that upper room? "Peace be with you. Peace be with you." This is a wonderful book called The Peace Book by our friend Todd Parr, one of our favorite authors. Here are some ideas about peace. Peace is making new friends. Peace is keeping the water blue for all the fish. Peace is listening to different kinds of music. Peace is saying you're sorry when you hurt someone. Peace is helping your neighbor. Peace is reading all different kinds of books. Peace is thinking about someone you love. Peace is giving shoes to someone who needs them. Peace is planting a tree. Peace is sharing a meal. Peace is wearing different clothes. Peace is watching it snow. Peace is keeping the streets clean. Peace is offering to hug a friend. Right now we might have to hug a friend from the camera and tell them that we'll give them a real hug, a real in-person hug as soon as we can. Peace is everyone having a home. Peace is growing a garden. Peace is taking a nap. Peace is learning another language. Konnichiwa. Guten Tag. Hola. Meow. Gurgle. Peace is having enough pizza in the world for everyone. Peace is keeping someone warm. Peace is new babies being born. Peace is being free. Peace is traveling to different places. We might have to do that with our imagination these days. Peace is wishing on a star. Peace is being who you are. Look at all of those different kinds of people. Peace is being different, feeling good about yourself, and helping others. The world is a better place because of you. Love, Todd. And that's the person who wrote the book, Todd Parr. Peace is being different, feeling good about yourself, and helping others. The world is a better place because of you. That's for sure. So, of all the things, important things that we learn from Jesus, the thing he said so many times, love your neighbor. Love your neighbor as yourself. How can we do that and be a witness to God's love right now in the middle of a pandemic? I got to thinking about that. One thing we can do, it might seem simple, we can wash our hands. Little hands and big hands. Lots of soap. I like this picture of the children, but I realized they didn't have any soap. They're at the rinsing stage. So I got some other pictures with soap. Here's another thing that's pretty new to so many of us, and that's wearing a mask. Wearing a mask to keep ourselves safe and our neighbors safe. So there's maybe a mom and her daughter. Here's a little boy wearing a mask, and he's even putting it on his stuffed animal. Both of those things are ways that we love our neighbors as ourselves. And here's one more picture I found. Who else? It's the whole earth wearing a mask. But that's what it takes. It takes all of us together, working together, using our kindness, all of us using our creativity, all the gifts from God so that we can love our neighbor and we can take care of one another. These are things that this wearing the mask, it might seem very new and very strange, just something you're just not used to. But I think it's something we'll get used to as time goes on. We just need to remember that it's one way that we're a witness to God's love. Because we care about each other. We care about the whole world, our neighbors near and far. It starts with some very simple things. Simple kindness, simple washing our hands, simple remembering that each of us is full of gifts from God. And each of us can take those gifts and make the world a better place. I'm so grateful for you and your families. I hope you're well. I hope you're patient and loving with each other. I know it's hard sometimes. I hope you remember that next Sunday is Pentecost. And we'll hear the wonderful story of the Holy Spirit coming to Jesus' friends and giving them that courage and joy to go out into the world. I wonder, we're going to have to think about this. How are we going to go out into the world this year? It might be different this year. I'll let you think about that. Next Sunday, if you remember, you might wear something that has the colors red, orange, or yellow, the special Pentecost colors. The church loves to tell time with colors. So next Sunday we have our one red Sunday of the whole year in the church calendar. I look forward to celebrating with you. Put that back. I hope you have a wonderful week, friends. Stay well. Take care. See you soon. Bye-bye.